What if everyone suddenly became a millionaire? It's not what you think. You wake up tomorrow, check your bank account, and see a number so big you have to count the zeros. You're a millionaire, but then you look at the news and you realize something will. So is everyone else on Earth. What happened next is a global party. It's the beginning of the end of the world as we know it. We're not talking about a paradise where everyone is equal. We're talking about a world where your millions are worth less than the paper they're printed on. A world where the most important person isn't the one with the most money, but the one who knows how to grow a potato. This is the story of how making everyone rich would actually make us all incredibly desperately poor. The Great Equalization, Day 1. Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine a giant cosmic reset button is pushed. In an instant, all the world's wealth, every stock, every piece of property, every dollar, yen, and euro in every bank account is pulled together and divided equally among every single person alive. How much would you each get? Well, the total private wealth in the world is estimated to be around 450 to 500 trillion US dollars. With a global population of over 8 billion people, a quick calculation gives each us somewhere around $60,000. Not quite the millionaire status we dream of, but for billions of people living on less than a few dollars a day, it's a life-changing fortune. For those in the wealthier countries, it might be a pay cut, but hey, all your debts are wiped clean. For this one moment, on this one day, we're all financially identical. The first few hours would be of absolute chaos, but a joyful kind of chaos. Imagine the news headlines. Financial markets would just stop. They'd be meaningless. People would walk out of jobs they had in droves. The cleaner scrubbing floors, the fast food workers flipping burgers, and the call center employee dealing with angry customer, they're all out. Why wouldn't they be? There would be a global shopping spree of epic proportions. People who have never owned a smartphone would be lining up at the Apple Store. Families would be putting down cash for cars. Everyone would be trying to buy the things they've always wanted. It feels like an utopia, right? For the first 24 hours, it probably would be. We've solved property. We have leveled the playing field. It's a global holiday, but the party is about to come to a screeching, disastrous halt. The Hangover, the first week. The morning after the Great Equalization, you wake up and you're hungry. You decided to go to your local bakery for some fresh bread. But the bakery is closed. The baker, who now has the same $60,000 as you, decided he'd rather sleep in, or maybe he's on a flight to Fiji. Okay, no bread. You go to the supermarket. The shelves are almost empty from yesterday's massive shopping spree. The few items left have no price tags. The cashiers and the self-stockers, they didn't show up for work either. Why would they? This is where the problem number one smacks us right in the face, the collapse of services. Our entire world runs on the fact that people need to work to earn money to live, but we have just broken the systems. Who is flying the planes? The pilots have the same money as the passengers. Who is picking the fruit and vegetables? The farm workers are taking a well-deserved vacation. Who is keeping the lights on? The power plant technicians are probably at home with their families. Suddenly, your $60,000 doesn't seem so powerful when you can buy food, you can travel, and your electricity is about to be cut off. All the money in the world means nothing if there is nothing to buy and no one to provide the services you rely on. This leads directly to problem number two, the big one, hyperinflation. Let's say you find someone who is willing to sell a loaf of bread. Maybe it's the baker who bakes some for his family and has a few extra. You offer him $5. He looks at you and laughs. Why would he need your $5? He has $60,000. Everyone has $60,000. Your money isn't special anymore. For him to sell that bread, you'd have to offer him something that makes it worth his while. maybe $1,000 or $10,000, or maybe all $60,000 of your newfound wealth. Suddenly, a loaf of bread costs 60 grand. That's inflation on insane scale. When everyone has a lot of money, but the amount of stuff to buy stays the same, or in this case gets much smaller because no one is working. The value of that money plummets. Your $60,000 might as well be $6. The number of your bank account is an illusion. Its actual purchasing power, its real world value, has just evaporated. The new reality, the first year. After a few weeks of chaos, bartering, and confusion, a new and brutal reality would start to set in. Money, as we know it, is dead. Having $60,000 is meaningless if a bottle of water also costs $60,000. So, what becomes the new currency? What becomes valuable now? The answer is simple: skills and things. The world will reorganize itself not around who has the most digital numbers in the defunct bank account, but around who can actually do and make things. A doctor becomes one of the most powerful people on the planet. Their ability to heal is now priceless. You can pay them with your useless money. You have to trade them something they need: food, security, a place to live. A farmer who knows how to grow food is now a king. They control the most essential resource of all. People would form communities around them, offering to work and protect the land in exchange for a share of the harvest. A plumber, an electrician, and a mechanic. These people who have practical, real-world skills are the new elites. They can fix the things that keep society from completely falling into the dark ages. What about the people who work in an office, the marketing managers and the financial analysts, the consultants? In these new worlds, their skills are overnight almost completely useless. What can you offer the farmer in exchange for food? A PowerPoint presentation, a quarterly growth, a well-written email? Society would fracture and reform into small, localized communities. Long-distance supply chains would be a memory. You wouldn't be ordering a new phone from a factory halfway across the world. You'd be lucky to have a local blacksmith who can forge you a new knife. This introduces a much older form of inequality, not based on wealth, but on ability and location. If you live in a fertile area with a good weather source, you're lucky. You have a chance to survive and thrive. If you live in a crowded city that relies on food being trucked in from hundreds of miles away, you are in a serious trouble. Cities would become death traps. The great unraveling, the climax. This is the key moment, the turning point when we realize the true meaning of the wealth. Wealth was never the money itself. Money is just a tool we invented to represent value. It's a system of trust that allows a pilot in London to accept payment for flying to Tokyo, confident that he can use the payment to buy food for his family. It allows farmer in California to sell his almonds, knowing he can use the money to buy tractor made in Germany. When we made everyone's wealth equal, we didn't just redistribute the money, we shattered the trust. We broke the system of incentives that makes the world turn. We revealed that the complex global machine of civilization is held together by a fragile promise that your work has value. The ultimate climax of this global experiment isn't a world of equality, it's a world thrown back centuries in terms of social and economic development. A world where your quality of life is determined not by your ambition or your ideas, but the pure luck what you know how to do with your hands and where you happen to live. Inequality would return, but it would be faster and harsher than before. Groups would form to protect resources. Those with skills would band together. Those without would be left out. Someone who managed secure a source of fresh water or a stockpile food of wood become the new rich. They wouldn't have more money, they would have more power. Conflict would be inevitable without laws, police, or a functioning government because they all quit, remember? It would be survival of the fittest on a global scale. The dream of utopia, born in a single moment, perfect equality, would die a painful death, giving way to dystopian nightmare. It turns out, giving everyone the same amount of money doesn't solve our problem. It just creates a whole new set of them, and they are a lot more primal and dangerous than the ones we have had before. The lesson in the rubble. So, what have we learned from our little thought experiment? We have crashed the global economy, starved our cities, and sent ourselves back to pre-industrial society. The conclusion is both simple and profound. True wealth isn't a number in an account, it's a combination of many things. A functioning society, the complex network of trust, services, and infrastructure that we all take for granted, the guarantee that when you go to the store, there will be food on the shelves, human skill, and knowledge. The collective expertise of billions of people, doctors, engineers, farmers, and the builders who make our modern lives possible. Number three is purpose and incentives. The drive to do something, to create, to contribute. For many, that's tied to earning a living, but it's also about building a better life for oneself and one's family. Trying to achieve equality by just equalizing financial wealth is like trying to make a car go faster by painting the speedometer with a higher number. You haven't changed the engine, you have just changed the display. The real engine of progress and prosperity is human cooperation, innovation, and hard work. The scenario shows us that maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't the existence of inequality itself, but the lack of opportunity. The goal shouldn't be to make everyone have the same outcome, but to ensure everyone has a fair chance to use their talents and skills to build their own prosperity, because a world where everyone is rich is a world where no one is, and a world without anything to strive for is a world that has already stopped moving forward.